Hi, thanks for watching The Freedom Habit. Have you ever just felt lost? Are you trying to change your life and you just feel confused and sad and just wanting to know what you can do to change things? I was there many times in my life, and I'm going to share one of those times with you right now. I was so sad. I was so miserable. I had a dead end job. I was drinking every single night, every single night. I drank with the guys I worked with. I was working in maintenance at a hospital back then. And you know what our saying was? It was, well, if we can't remember what we did, we must have had a good time. That's how much we drank. We would drink a fifth of tequila before we went out for the night to get drunk at a bar. That's how much we were drinking. So if you're thinking you're in a bad spot, you got a bad job, you got a drug problem or an alcohol problem or whatever. You just want to change your life one way or another. You can do this. I know because I did it, and you can too. So I was just so sad. I was so lost. I was scared my life was never going to go anywhere. I had no clue. I was only 20 at this time. And one night, I don't see, I don't remember this, but let me start like this. I woke up in my driveway at about, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was sleeping behind the wheel of my car. And I didn't remember how I drove home. My subconscious mind must have just got me there because I had no remembrance of getting behind the wheel. I didn't know where I was that night. I didn't know anything. All I know is I woke up in my driveway, in my car, and I was like scared. I was thankful I didn't kill myself or somebody else or get arrested by the police. That's that's pretty desperate. So wherever you are, I bet you're not going through quite that much. Maybe you're going through more. I'm not sure. But I'm just saying, you know what? I saw that and I was like, you know what? This cannot stay. This has to change. I grew up feeling unworthy and in a chaotic home. So I didn't have much self esteem. And a lot of times I think that's why people tend to end up in lives like I was living, just lost, desperate, just living for the moment, living for the good time. But I had one thought: things have to be better than this. Things have to get better than this. There has to be a way to get better, to change my life for the better. So one night I just stayed home. I stayed home and I read a book. I don't even remember who it was by, maybe Norman Vincent Peale or something. It was like The Power of Positive Thinking, something like that. And it gave me some inspiration and some hope. And I just started doing that at night. I would just stay home and not go out. And I did that for a while. It wasn't too long, and I ended up even being able to go out and hang out with my friends. But I just decided not to drink anymore. Of course, I didn't hang out like I used to, but I would meet them somewhere, at least say hi, make an appearance, and leave. I wouldn't stay like I used to all night. So you don't have to like completely change your life and sit at home. I'm not saying you have to do that either. Maybe for a brief period, but not. It's not going to last forever. So I started thinking, why can't I go to school for something? You know what? I graduated from high school with a 2.2 grade point average because I didn't care. I never did my homework. I I just showed up for class and whatever I remembered from learning in class, that's what I took the test and I did well enough to get C's at least, sometimes a B. And I ended up going to school for X-ray, for radiology, and I got an associate degree in radiology. I was on the dean's list every single semester. I graduated with a 3.64 average out of a possible 5. And I quit smoking until I used to smoke like 2 packs of Newports a day. Quit doing that. I really just turned my life around. And I had been a musician for a long time. And I started playing in a band called Astro. If anybody's watching this, maybe you guys remember Astro. It was from the 80s. But we were one of the most popular bands in the regional area, like in Pittsburgh and different Wheeling, different areas. We even got to open for some bands, some big bands. And so my life totally turned around. I was playing in bars, and I wasn't getting in trouble. I was like a totally different person. I totally flipped the timeline. You know, they talk about changing timelines in the law of attraction and the law of assumption. Well, you know what? I assumed I could change, and I wanted it more than anything. And that's what you need. First of all, you need belief. You need to want it, and you need to assume that it's possible. So, what are you trying to change today? What do you want to change? Envision yourself doing it. See yourself 6 months down the road. Go, if I do this, if I start today, where will I be 6 months from now? Where will I be 3 weeks from now? It doesn't always take long. You make a decision and just change. We can. It is like jumping timelines, or it is jumping timelines. You actually take your personality and you just say, no more. I'm going to be this person. And you start acting like that person, walking like that person, doing the things that person would do. And you can change too, no matter what you're going through. I believe the best for you. Have a great day.